The JSE All Share index is down so far today as losses in shares of miners, financials and banks more than offset strength in tech companies. Meanwhile, investors are still waiting for Wednesday's Fed minutes and more economic data to assess global economic risks. Carmen Mpelwane is portfolio manager at Absa Asset Management, back with us today to have a look at how we are looking at 12:30, coming up to lunchtime, and the rand looked like it was winning back some gains, at least in early trade, but that was short-lived. Carmen, how come?
I think it's largely driven by a stronger US dollar, and we'll see across all the emerging markets, while the ZAR peers that we've seen weakness into this afternoon. The expectation has been that with the elevation of energy and fuel prices and a destruction of demand, we were likely to see some sort of reaction. But this is the way it goes. Volatility reigns. So down today, up tomorrow. Let's see.
And we're all complaining since that announcement yesterday about fuel prices, and I see Brent crude oil prices have been flat as investors are now on the back of that supply disruption issue. Explain that so that we can all put it, I suppose, in the greater context of what's been going on.
Yeah, so keeping in mind that oil price is up over 45% year to date, number one. That largely off the back of the Ukraine-Russia war that's happening at the moment. So that has given sort of a support level to oil above the $100 per barrel. But what has happened overnight, we've seen that Saudi Arabia has announced that it is increasing its oil price into next month. And we've got a reaction in the Brent crude price as well. We did see OPEC Plus last week announcing their increase in terms of their target. However, even they are struggling to actually meet that target. So we've seen them only reach about between 50 to 7% production levels of their announced target. So that's also given a support level to the oil price. As I said, volatility and uncertainty reign, and that's the reason for the elevated oil price at the moment.
Some news from Nampack. It's been given an extra 6 months to pay down a 1 billion rand debt. Explain what that debt is about and whether this is actually doable as far as deadlines go.
Yeah, so at March, they announced that they've got about 5 billion in debt at the moment, well, at that point. And this is largely related to the expansion into the rest of Africa, that they accumulated this debt. In the call following the results, we did see a lot of conversation around how this debt was going to be paid off, despite the company managing to grow their half-year earnings quite significantly on the back of increased demand. But we are seeing for them that they are now saying that they were able to, number one, they removed dividends to ensure cash flow sort of stability. And because of the improvement in earnings, I would assume that they were able to negotiate a delay in terms of the payment of the 1 billion debt. So that would be pushed out to April 2023.
And executives at Samsung Electronics will be laughing all the way to the bank. It seems they're due to turn the company's best April-June profit since 2018. How come?
Yeah, so quite surprisingly, especially on the back of its competitor last week announcing that they're going to see a destruction in earnings. Keeping in mind that Samsung Electronics is down over 27% year to date. And the main reason for the decrease in the share price is on the back of a short supply of chips, which we well know has been the case since the pandemic started. The tailwind for the increase in demand at the beginning of the pandemic was related to more work from home, so a significant increase in demand for smartphones as well as laptops, etc. However, we're seeing that demand come off significantly, so their competitor announced that they're seeing, due to a decline in demand, they would see the decrease in earnings. So Samsung swinging in the opposite direction. This largely driven by an increase in demand from the server side. So chips for servers across the globe has been the impetus behind this increase in their earnings announcement.
Carmen Mpelwane, good to chat as always. Thank you very much for your time today.